So we're having a meeting about referrals. So basically, this financial year, there's a whole new approach to what this business is doing, referrals. Does anyone know why we're focusing on referrals more so now than historical?
Free leads, less burden on marketing, cross-sell opportunities, utilizing the resources at best, easy to sell, building more services to the customer.
It's a brand, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, like we have that imprinting of one solution kind of company, you know, so they can come back and think about us building brand at the same time.
Yeah.
All
All those tick every box, I think. So well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, basically, there's 20. What is the last count? I think there's 26 million people in Australia, right? And there's 17 million with health insurance. You can't keep going to the well because it gets dry. Obviously, you can't. The country's too small. You know, if this was America, then fucking you're going for 20 years. But the same thing happened at iSelect. They started off like this joint, got to a point where they exhausted leads potentially. Had a massive database of 14, 15 million people, which is similar to this place now. It's proven that referred leads convert better. Does anyone know why that would be psychologically?
They already know you. Already trust.
Yeah, they trust the company.
Defensibles are down. Yeah.
Exactly, they trust the company. They're more suggestible. So last year as a business, we did 28,000 referrals to other verticals. This year they want to up that to, I think, 70, which basically breaks down to one a day. One referral per person per day. It's not a giant ask. It's not that difficult. Like Travis, I'll give you an example. He does it on non-sales. So when you say, "Oh no, stay where you are," clearly the customer is surprised by that and the trust is high, so it's easy to slip in. Whereas Calvin only does it on sales. He does lots per day. He doesn't ask. He just goes, "Great, glad we helped you with the health insurance. Now you pay for your gas, electricity, do you? Yeah, cool. Well, I'm just going to get one of my extras to give you a call. What's the best time?" Just full assumptive. Never asked the question, because if you ask the question, they'll say no. Because what it isn't, which a lot of people seem to have, I'm not talking about our team, but they don't want to bother the customer, or they forget about it, or it's like saying, "Do you want fries with that?" That's all people's internal projections. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, it's the way the company's going forward. They do convert more so than a social lead. So when you go and buy a new lead, they do convert higher for that trust reason. And look, every business I know does it. Like talking to Josh the other day, he worked at Telstra, and he was part of his KPIs where he had to refer SIM cards or whatever, some other service, you know. It's just smart business at the end of the day. So the business is getting to that point. So I'll play out the timeline of iSelect, and this is where it's in your guys' control for the next at least 12 months. Nothing's changing in the next 12 months in terms of other than trying to get referrals from everyone. But to start off at iSelect, same sort of concept. Introduce the behaviour. Some people picked it up, some people didn't, 50-50. And then they introduced, but they got a lot of shit through, a lot of just for the sake of doing it. So then they introduced a conversion metric, so they have to convert. And then they went back to referral rate, how many times you refer. And then back to conversion rate, it kept flipping. And it still wasn't moving the needle on some people. So then they brought in a stick. And that's what companies do. They'll never come in with a stick, unless they're an arsehole company. This place isn't that. They'll always reward first, and then stick if people aren't picking it up. So at the end of the day, it's one referral per person per day. You choose when you do it. I was telling to Davey, which James does, he does it on just before you read compliance, because the customer's actually quite captive then, as opposed to the end of the call when they want to get off, because they've done their job type thing. You guys choose when to do it. Another thing that I used to do when I was on the phones was when they say early on, I want to save some money, say, great, I've got some great ideas how to do that, but I'll talk about that later. You just plant the seed, and then you do it a bit later. And then you say, look, as I spoke earlier, I couldn't save you money here, but I can save you money here. It's a 5-minute phone call. We have 15 of the top providers in the country, Origin, AGL, and a few others. We do solar, so if someone has solar, there's no issue. And their rates go up all the time. It's like 2 or 3 times a year. There's one just last week. And no one is loyal, would you agree, to gas electricity companies?
Yeah.
No.
So it's an easy sell. It's not an emotional sell like this thing, so like health. So where Dom's team and our team are leading the pack. Thankfully, it's not just historically, it's always been Kelvin. He's been making, on average, his biggest month was about $1,800, but he averages about $500 or $600 a month from referrals. Mainly energy, but he does a few life ones as well. Look, the money may judge you, it may not, right? But if it doesn't judge you, I'm not saying it should, but so many people in this business complain, oh, I saved this customer $500 and they didn't go ahead. Well, the company's giving you potentially $500 or whatever it is per month if they convert, to get some extra coin to pay for something, fuel, fucking whatever you want to use the extra money for. So some people have different motivation. It could be the money, could be helping people, could be representing the brand well. You pull whatever motivation you want. My advice to you guys is, it's at the birthing stage at the moment. So from my perspective, the control's in the hands of the agents at the moment, not to stuff it up. If the floor or business doesn't meet the mark, then they'll start to probably bring in sticks, you know, maybe in the future. Not this year, not this financial year, I should say, but maybe in the future, because they've got to give you at least a year to roll it out and get used to the whole concept. So the control is in the hands of the agent at the moment to not go down the path of iSelect like it did. Now, if you don't know, at iSelect, say Davey hits 300K, but he hasn't hit his WeSelect, what they call WeSelect target, he doesn't get paid his sales commission at all, even if he misses by one referral. It's harsh and it's shit. It's why a lot of people left. I'm not saying I'll ever get to that point here, but if people don't refer, because it's a company directive, then they will bring in something. That's just a natural evolution, wouldn't you agree? So now it's just basically ask once, whenever you want to ask, just do one a day. And the easiest thing to do in the world is energy, because everyone's got energy. Doesn't matter if they're 10 or fucking 90 years old. So, and the main reason is we've got we want to spend less money on leads, better get better leads in. And if you think about it, right, how many months we're low on leads, right? If we can have an extra 32,000 leads per year from referrals, particularly coming into health, it's not going to solve the world's problems. It's going to fill up any gaps more and have a more consistent input of leads to you guys. The energy crew is expanding rapidly. Like it's 15 at the moment. They want to get to like 30 or something by the end of the year. They're recruiting all the time. So if you ever want to make the switch, it's entirely up to you. They are recruiting internally, but yeah, just expect this is the future, basically. And they do sell. So last example, in June, iSelect did something dumb and they spent millions on marketing, TV, advertising, radio, that sort of thing. It didn't deliver on the leads, so they just pissed away money. So every agent, like Joshy versus Alex Blunden, for example, they all got 10 connects each, answering machines, wrong numbers, whatever, and that's it. And this is June. Trudy, as you know, works there. There was a couple of months she blew her caps by 10:30. So you're going to just basically and she ended up getting 130% of her target. 80% of her sales were from WeSelect transfers in. So it saves the day. And I've experienced at iSelect, and it's a question, costs you nothing, and the benefit is far greater than asking the question. So, yes, Josh.
What's the business doing about, like, I can understand Ask Gas and Electricity is fairly transactional.
Yeah.
What's the business going to do about training for the rest of the company that don't know health insurance? Because I've had 10 or 15 at the moment and not come close to selling one of their referrals from Monday this week.
Like from Gas into you or from Life or something?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I've only had one meeting on it. That was the other day.
I had one an hour or two ago, and they called and said, sorry, the guy's hung up, he was really busy. Here you go. I've tried calling him back, no answers.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what's the quality of the lead?
Well,
what are they going to do to train that up to?
Well, talking to Dylan the other day, that's their main thing at the moment in energy. I don't know about Life because they haven't spoken to us yet.
Yeah.
And home loans as well. The referrals you're going to get from home loans will be stuffle because it's such a small little thing. You most likely get them from energy or Life, and Life's pretty small anyway. Dylan assured us the other day that they're educating their departments on not to be able to sell health, but able to refer properly. And it's going to be the same for us going in, because most of us are intelligent, we know gas and electricity, but there's going to be some desperate people who just throw through some rubbish just for the sake of it, which wastes everyone's time. And that's not what we want to happen. But look, I can tell you for a fact, to lower expectation, that will happen until training comes up to speed from both sides, us coming into us and us out to them. That's just the time we have to be a bit patient with things.